Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Doodles. Today I am unboxing, reviewing, and testing out a new marker brand called Parkoo. This is their alcohol marker brush set. I got the 12 piece. One side is chisel nib, the other side is a brush tip. So it's right up my alley and I can't wait to let you guys know what I thought about these. So for transparency, I won these markers in a giveaway, but the opinions are my own and I will be honest with you. Right away I thought the packaging was nice and simple. I love that everything was transparent on the package. It tells you what it is. It's waterproof, acid free, alcohol markers. There's no tiny print, and I believe it said where they were made. So like I said, these markers are a brush tip and the chisel tip on the other side, and I wouldn't say that these are primary colors. They're more like in between primary and secondary colors. The colors are more mid-tones with a few contrasting colors. I know some people might dislike that they're not true primary colors, but honestly, for a 12-piece set and a first set of markers, you can't work with primary colors, especially with alcohol markers. They're just a little bit more difficult. I liked how thoughtful and curated the color palette was for this 12-piece marker set. So here is a swatch. Sorry about that. So here I did a swatch test, just seeing how they lay down on this marker sketchbook that I have, and nothing looked out of the ordinary. They look like what your typical alcohol markers would be. So next thing I did was a blending test with like colors, and of course they blended perfectly fine. And then, as per usual, I like to try and blend colors that are different in saturation and, you know, just on different ends of the color spectrum. So I tried this pale cherry pink and this deep violet color, and let me tell you guys, I had a difficult time blending it out. It was something to do with the pink. I don't know if the formula wasn't right, but I felt like it wasn't blending. It was more like lifting the darker color. Anyway, so I decided to test out two other marker brands that I use quite often, which is Ohuhu and Artix, and I found a pink marker that actually had the same name, the pale cherry pink, and then I found the like colors to the violet, and I felt like they blended a little bit better, and I didn't have to work as hard to try and get it to look a little bit more seamless to blend. I mean, I could definitely throw in a middle tone between the two colors, but like I said, if you can't tell in this video, I was trying really hard to blend the Parkoo deep violet and the pale cherry pink, and it just wasn't working. So that is one thing I noticed with the blending of a light and very dark color, and especially the pink in this set. Now let's move on to my illustration. So as soon as I open up this package, I want to do an illustration right away instead of like leaving it on the shelf to collect dust. It was before New Year's Eve, so I thought I'd go on theme with a New Year's Eve illustration, and I really liked my illustration, but I did not plan the color palette for it. I just thought about using all the colors in one piece, and it's like basics 101. I should have limited my color palette, because at the end of this I wasn't quite happy with my illustration. I pushed myself to use too many colors, and I could have done better, but I tried to salvage it as much as I can, and I hope you guys don't burn me for it. So when I was doing this illustration with these markers, they lay down pretty much the same like every other marker. I did notice that, I don't know if because the marker was super juicy, but something again in the formula made these markers feather out a lot, and typically alcohol markers will feather out and bleed, especially on the specific types of paper, on how much they bleed out or feather. But this is marker paper, and I didn't have trouble with other marker brands with the feathering. So as you can see, I laid down my line art, and I had to be careful with my coloring so that I wasn't going over my line art. I had to make sure I colored away from the line, because I knew that the ink from these markers will bleed out to the line. So that's one thing that I noticed that I haven't come across previously. So another thing I want to talk about is the nibs on these markers. I'm actually really impressed with Parkoo's nibs. The quality is really good. It's comparable to other leading marker brands out there. The difference I found was that the brush nib on these markers are quite large, and so I wasn't getting quite a fine tip when I needed to get into like little details. And my preference is that I like the brush nib to be a little bit firmer, have a little bit more snap to it. I found that specific colors that I was using a lot more in the illustration, the nib would get very soft and malleable, so it was like flexible, and I know a lot of people like that about a brush tip, but not me. But the one good thing about these nibs, other than saying that these are decent quality, is that I am heavy-handed, and I tend to fray my nibs. And these ones didn't fray, no matter how hard I was pushing down. I am very heavy-handed, and I'm trying to learn how to be more light with my coloring and drawing and everything else to do with my art. But I think that's a plus. Obviously, you don't want a fray nib, and you don't want to have to change out a nib or not be able to use it anymore. So I'm really impressed with Parkoo. So I want to talk a little bit more about Parkoo, the marker brand company. I really don't know much about them. You go to their website and they talk about themselves a little bit, but they don't tell you where they're based at, and it's a very light comment section on themselves. But from what I can recall from memory is that I have seen Parkoo around on Amazon for like the last 4 or 5 years. I've seen other YouTube artists or, social media artists. They've used these markers, and these aren't new markers. I think this package came out, or the set came out like a little over a year ago. But so that's what I know so far. And when I went to their website, if you scroll to the bottom, their address was like in France, so I'm guessing they're a French marker brand. If anybody knows, please let me know down in the comments. I'd like to know more about them. But I do appreciate one thing about this marker company, or this art product company, is that it's not in a foreign language, and their website's clean and clear, and just like the packaging on their product, I can see what they're all about, so that is a great thing. Let's go into pricing now. So I saw that this 12 set on their website, on Parkoo's website, goes for $14.99, but if you go over into Amazon, I feel like Amazon sells products a little bit cheaper, or there's always some sort of discount, but this set is $9.99, which makes each marker about 83 cents. And then I did other calculations on Ohuhu and Artix. I couldn't find a 12 set for Ohuhu, but they had a 24 set. But again, the pricing on Amazon, it was the same price per marker. It was 83 cents. And Artix was the same as well. So you have another brand that is just as comparable as, you know, the two, I would say the two top leading brands right now for cheaper but quality alcohol markers. And I think that's it. I have nothing negative to say about these markers. They were fun to use. I'm still playing around with them. I'm really enjoying this curated set. They definitely speak to me, and I've been having a lot of fun doing doodles in my sketchbook with them. If there is anything that I have left out, please let me know, or if you have any questions about these, let me know down in the comments. I do like hearing from you guys, so don't be shy and, you know, shoot me a message or a comment down there. Now, I think I did mention that I wasn't quite happy with this illustration, so I let this sit for about a week or so, and I felt like I needed to give these markers a fair chance. I mean, I'm explaining everything to you guys here, but at the time I really felt that I needed to make an illustration that I was happy with and really showcase these markers and the abilities they have, you know. So after about a week or so, I came up with an illustration, and that is why this video is so long, because I really liked my process with the next illustration that I came up with, and I used these markers. So I hope you guys stay until the end to watch my next illustration, because everything about it felt like me, and I didn't feel a struggle with these markers. Okay guys, let's address the elephant in the room. My voice is really off. I know I sound nasally, but yeah, I'm still sick. It was a crazy holiday time. We had family visit, and I ended up getting sick, and it's been about a week, almost 2 weeks now, and I'm still fighting a stubborn cold. But I just couldn't let this video sit any longer, so I'm really sorry that my voice is not as soothing as usual. Which I want to say, I appreciate you guys saying that my voice is very calming, because I don't like my voice at all. Anyways, it's taken me the whole video to not clear my throat, so I'm sorry for doing that. Yeah, so this is the end of my first illustration. You guys stay tuned for my next one, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching my video. If you guys have any questions or comments or just anything at all, please post them down in the comments. I always read them. Happy New Year, you guys, and it's great to be back again. Until next time, Doodle Fam, bye!